Why is it that the person who loudly claims they hate drama is always the one standing in the center of the fire holding a box of matches? They are not the victim of bad luck. They are the architect of their own disaster. You know their fixed sentences. They say that I just want peace. I hate conflict. Why does this always happen to me? This is the lie of the century. It is the camouflage of the predator. The person who claims to hate drama is almost always the manufacturer of it. They are the eye of the hurricane, calm in the center, while everything around them is being torn apart by winds they generated. Why do they do it? Why would a human being choose conflict over peace? Why would they choose chaos over order? You look at them and you see exhaustion. You see relationships crumbling. You see bridges burning. And you think, surely they want this to stop. Surely they are just unlucky. This is your mistake. You are projecting your sanity onto their insanity. You are projecting your desire for peace onto their addiction to war. Welcome to the psychology of the chaos creator. This is not a personality quirk. This is a biological dependency. This is a spiritual sickness. Today we are going to unmask the vampire. We are going to look at the blood work of the drama addict. And we are going to give you the silver bullet to ensure you do not become their next meal. Welcome to the Watchtower. Let us begin with the neuroscience of the storm. To understand the person who thrives on drama, you must understand the chemistry of addiction. We usually associate addiction with substances, heroin, nicotine, but the body is a pharmacy. It produces its own drugs, and the most potent drug in the human body is not dopamine. It is cortisol mixed with adrenaline. This is the cocktail of the fight or flight response. It is designed for survival. It sharpens the senses. It numbs pain. It makes you feel intensely alive. For the average person, high cortisol feels terrible. It feels like anxiety. It feels like dread. But for the chaos creator, normalcy feels like death. Peace feels like boredom. And boredom is their kryptonite. Their baseline nervous system is dysregulated. They have a high tolerance for stress. So in order to feel anything at all, they need to manufacture a crisis. They need the scream. They need the tears. They need the threat of the breakup. Because only in the wreckage do they feel real. They are essentially cortisol junkies. And you, the friend, the partner, the co-worker, you are the dealer. Every time you react, every time you try to fix their mess, every time you offer sympathy, you are injecting them with the hit they crave. This brings us to the concept of the void. Blaise Pascal, the French mathematician, said, "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." The chaos creator cannot sit in the room, because if they sit in the room, they have to hear the silence. And in the silence, they have to face the void. The void is the emptiness of their own identity. They do not know who they are without a conflict to define them. They are defined by what they are fighting against, not what they are fighting for. Without an enemy, they are a soldier in an empty field, and that makes them feel obsolete. So they must invent an enemy. The waiter gave me a dirty look. My mother-in-law used a passive-aggressive tone. My boss is plotting against me. These are not realities. These are hallucinations designed to populate the empty field. They are creating a movie where they are the protagonist. Because being a protagonist in a tragedy is better than being an extra in a peaceful life. Let us dissect the social architecture of the drama. We must look at the Karpman drama triangle. This is a model of social interaction that maps out the destructive loops of the chaos creator. There are three roles: the victim, the persecutor, and the rescuer. The chaos creator rotates through these roles with terrifying speed. First, they are the victim. Look what happened to me. The world is unfair. Help me. This hooks you. You become the rescuer. You step in to save them. You offer advice. You lend money. You listen to the 3-hour phone call. But the moment you try to solve the problem, or the moment you set a boundary, they flip. They become the persecutor. You do not understand. You are judging me. You are just like the rest of them. And suddenly, you are the bad guy. You are the persecutor. And they are the victim of your incompetence. It is a rigged game. The only way to win is not to play. But why do we play? Why do we get sucked in? Because they use intermittent reinforcement. This is the same psychological trick used by slot machines. If the machine never paid out, you would stop playing. If the chaos creator was always a nightmare, you would leave. But they are not always a nightmare. Sometimes they are charming. Sometimes they are exciting. Sometimes they make you feel special. They love bomb you. They pull you close. And just when you think it is safe, they pull the rug out. This unpredictability creates a trauma bond. You stay, hoping for the return of the good times. But the good times are not the baseline. The good times are the bait. We must also look at the darker side of this psychology, the histrionic traits, the need to be the center of attention at all costs. Oscar Wilde said, "There is only one thing in the world worse than being talked about, and that is not being talked about." The chaos creator lives by this creed. They would rather be hated than ignored. Hatred is passion. Hatred is energy. Indifference is death. When they create a scene at the wedding, when they start a rumor at the office, they are hijacking the collective attention of the tribe. For a brief moment, they matter. They are the sun, and you are all planets orbiting their dysfunction. It is a power trip. It is a way to control the environment when you feel internally out of control. So how do we deal with these people? How do we survive the vampire without becoming a vampire hunter? We need a protocol, a mechanism of defense that renders their weapons useless. We call this the Obsidian Wall. Grey rock suggests you become boring, like a rock in a field, but obsidian is sharper. Obsidian absorbs energy and reflects nothing. When the chaos creator approaches you with their latest crisis, with their latest gossip, with their latest emergency, you do not react. You do not gasp. You do not ask questions. You give them zero emotional nutrition. You say things like, "That sounds tough," or "I see," and then you go back to your work. You deny them the hook. Watch their reaction. They will escalate. They will try harder. They will poke. They will prod. They will accuse you of not caring. Do not take the bait. Hold the line. Eventually, they will realize that the well is dry. They will realize that you are not a source of supply, and they will move on to an easier target. This is not cruelty. This is quarantine. You are quarantining the virus to protect your own operating system. But what if the chaos creator is you? What if you are listening to this, and you feel the cold shiver of recognition? What if you are the one who gets bored when things are calm? Then you have a much harder battle ahead. You need a detoxification protocol. We call this the Dopamine Fast of Silence. You must intentionally bore yourself. You must sit in the room. Remove the phone. Remove the music. Remove the social inputs. And sit. When the urge to text that toxic ex comes up, sit. When the urge to check up on your enemy comes up, sit. Feel the withdrawal. It will feel physical. Your chest will tighten. Your mind will race. You will feel like you are dying. You are not dying. The parasite is starving. Let it starve. You must learn to find beauty in the mundane. The Japanese call this wabi-sabi, the appreciation of the imperfect and the simple. Drama is high contrast, neon lights. Peace is soft focus. Candlelight. You have ruined your eyes with the neon. You need to adjust to the candle. Ultimately, Drama is a distraction from destiny. Every minute you spend talking about he said, she said, is a minute you are not building your empire, is a minute you are not sharpening your skills, is a minute you are not loving your family. It is a theft of potential. Do not be an accomplice to the robbery of your own life. Unmask the chaos creator. See the scared child beneath the noise. Feel pity, not anger. Pity is the ultimate shield, because you cannot hate what you pity, and you cannot be controlled by what you pity. Look at them with the detached compassion of a doctor looking at a patient with a fever. You wish them health, but you do not climb into the hospital bed with them. Stay standing, stay healthy, stay sovereign. We are Mind Ministry, and we are watching.